大家好，歡迎大家繼續收睇《週一長談》呢個節目，我哋節目主持人姚永安。大家其實咧就睇電視又或者記得從前咧當警察咧就最初就係有手扣啦、有槍啦，咁後來咧就話有個 call 機嘅。咁但係而家你睇下我哋喺街上面嘅警察咧，尤其是睇下佢嗰條皮帶所孭嘅嘢啦。其實俾我感覺咧，就好似啲蝙蝠俠一樣嘅，係好多唔同嘅喺度。究竟嗰啲係有啲乜嘢嚟嘅咧？咁啊好高興咧，就請嚟我哋溫哥華市警嘅副處長Howard Chow 咧，同我哋傾偈。咁呢個問題一定要問佢嘅。Howard 你好。
Hello。
好啦，咁想問下你啦，究竟其實一個軍裝警員出街嘅時候咧，個身上邊係孭住啲乜嘢嘅咧？
Well, there's probably about 25 pounds of equipment that most our police officers are carrying. Which is a lot of weight, especially when you're chasing down somebody who's 120 pounds wearing running shoes. And a lot of that is obviously there's the firearm, the gun, and we've got our ammunition that comes with it as well. But something that's
即係額外嘅子彈。
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. So really, what's evolved over the last 20, 30 years is a response to a lot of the levels of force that are out there. So that means that our members are carrying less lethal tools, and it could be pepper spray. And it's also a baton, a collapsible baton. They're carrying their handcuffs. And in some instances, some members, police officers, are wearing a taser. So if they go into a situation that it gives that officer options, that he or she doesn't have to rely just on the firearm or his or her presence. That there are other options. You could use the pepper spray, you could use the baton, you could use the taser. And then in certain circumstances, we have other, depending on the call, there may be a specific call where we will send over police officers with beanbag rounds, meaning that it shoots beanbags at a very high velocity. And essentially it's pain compliance. It's trying to make the person drop the weapon, drop the knife, or what have you, and by using beanbag rather than going right to lethal force.
And you had a handcuff.
And handcuffs, that's right.
And walkie-talkie or cell phone?
Yeah, we've got walkie-talkies, and most of our police officers, all our police officers would have cell phones as well. But so
walkie-talkie and cell phone.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. No, our members are very connected. I can remember when I got on the job, between a partnership, we would share one radio. Called walkie-talkie. We'd share one radio, and sometimes it had very limited range. But now each member has portable radios that are extremely sophisticated. Doesn't matter if you're in a third level, fourth level of parkade, you can still transmit through. It's very secure, so organized criminals aren't hearing what our operation or tactics are about. So it's a lifeline. Any way you look at it, portable radios are a lifeline for our officers.
How about GPS?
GPS, yes, we've got it in the cars and our radios and our laptops. It's effectively it's a safety measure. It can tell our officers, when we're going to a real serious call, the radio dispatcher can look at her screen and know exactly where we need more resources. If we're trying to contain a school, because a school at 3 in the morning got broken into, the dispatcher can look at the screen and say, hey, we need somebody on the north side, because if the suspect runs out the north side, nobody's there to intercept them.
So for police vehicle, do you have a long rifle stored in it? Because I remember when I was at one point in Ottawa, outside the parliament, and then the police car actually got 2 big rifles in it. So Vancouver police car also has it?
Some do.
Okay.
So we've got some specialized cars that will carry long rifles. And whenever there's those types of situations where we have to send in, like the more serious ones, we may dispatch a car with a long rifle in it. So that's the beauty with communications nowadays versus what it used to be, is that, depending on the call, we can send whatever resources we need. And so not every car needs to have a long rifle. We have enough officers work on the road that if it's needed, it'll be there.
咁仲有呢個防彈衣嘅嘛，避彈衣嘅嘛，仲要着住。
Yeah. So every officer, and that's in our policy, will wear a bulletproof vest. and it's not only for bullets, but it's also in Canada, we have lots of stabbings. We don't have as many shootings as we do down in the United States, but there are stabbings. That's right. That's right. It affords protection, but also car accidents. Whenever a police officer is involved in a car accident, it gives you that little bit of extra protection that you wouldn't have otherwise.
好啦，咁但係問題就係話，冬天嘅時候會唔會暖？夏天嘅時候會好熱嘅咧？嗰件衫。
Oh yes, absolutely. Yes, summertime, it can be really hot wearing the bulletproof vest and all the uniform. The uniforms are dark colored, so it draws a lot of heat. But it's a safety thing, and you know our members know that it's important that they wear it so they can make it home.
係啊，因為你係夏天嘅時候，我哋平時就係着一件衫都覺得熱嘅，但係你睇到個警察，除咗個制服之外，仲要着件避彈衣，裏面其實都好辛苦嘅。
That's right. Yeah, that makes for some hot days during the summer.
OK， 嗱頭先你講過咧，就係話即係溫哥華市警咧都係有呢個即係美國叫 SWAT team 啦，就我哋叫做 Special Force 啊。
Emergency response team.
Emergency response team. OK， 咁呢隊係乜嘢嚟嘅咧？
So they are the police officers that are specially trained. They're specially equipped. They've got different firearms. They've got lots of different tools and equipment that's available to them. And whenever we have any serious calls where it looks like there's a higher level of violence, perhaps it's somebody who's got a firearm, perhaps it's somebody who's just robbed a store and being chased, and he or she's got a knife. Anything that involves that level of violence or danger, the emergency response team will attend. And sometimes it's a barricaded person. An individual will perhaps barricade the doors, doesn't want the police to come in, maybe wanted by the police, and our emergency response team would be called for that.
但係你嗰個即係呢一隊人咧，咁其實係一隊有幾多人啊？同埋係咪就有架裝甲車一齊出動嘅咧
？Yeah, there's about 60 emergency response team members, and they've got drive specialized vehicles that can carry the equipment they need, and it's everything from robots that we can send into a house that they can view what's inside the house prior to us perhaps making entry, to a large armored vehicle, a rescue vehicle, which some of you may have seen out on the road. Whenever there's a very serious call that we need to have a large vehicle that can maybe withstand firearms, then we may bring that out. And it really is there to protect our members and protect the public. Oftentimes we need it as a shield so we can move that large vehicle in so our officers can go behind it and get closer to whatever the target might be.
但係即係譬如頭先你所講啦，即係譬如話有啲情況要出現嘅時候，可能即係有人有把刀啊、搶嘢啊，或者係有人韞住屋企啊嗰啲。其實呢啲情況同我哋電視睇到美國嗰啲 SWAT team 出動嘅情況好似爭好遠喎，係嘛？
Well, I mean, still excellent training. Like there's lots of good training that comes out of the United States, and oftentimes we attend conferences and meetings and share training with larger departments down in the U.S. But even though there's lots of similarities, lots of difference as well, just in terms of because of the types of calls and the volume of calls that we tend to go to. But our members are equally trained as well as anybody across North America.
咁其實係咪即係比較喺美國嚟講咧，我哋都係比較叫太平、比較安全，即係就算要出動到即係你個emergency team 嘅情況，其實都唔係真係咁危險咧。
Oh, I think we live in a very safe city. I think our crime rates and our level of violence that we see shows that. But there are instances where our officers are having to go into dangerous situations, despite the fact that I'm very convinced that Vancouver is a safe city to live in. There are still instances where we will come across organized crime, and we still will come across individuals that don't want to be arrested and that will resort to any means to get away. And sometimes that means, getting into violent encounters with the police. So But it is a big difference from what you're seeing down in the U.S.
咁其實我哋平時睇電視啦，即係睇到即係警察去查案啊，去捉賊啊，即係打擊罪案啊，其實即係裏邊有幾多係真嘅，有幾多係假嘅咧
？Oh, I think there's always an element of truth. I know oftentimes those police movies, they will bring in police officers to be their consultants. So there's always an element of truth, and I think there's a lot of movies out there that's we could say resemble what we deal with on a day in and day out basis. But a big part of that is Hollywood too, and there are so many things that we do in policing that we don't necessarily hear about. And it's interesting, 77% of the work we do isn't about crime and arresting people. 77% of the work we do has to do with dealing with mental illness or drug addiction or homelessness. It's to deal with the missing child at Stanley Park, or the father that has dementia that's wandered away, or trying to get somebody into a home because the young person was booted out of their house. So that's where a bulk of our work really happens. It's not like you see on TV where in that hour you're seeing shootouts and car chases and things of that nature.
And explosions.
And explosions, that's right. Yeah.
OK 嗱，另一樣嘢我係想問你啦，其實就係話喺我哋即係無論加拿大或者美國啦，其實警察嘅執行任務同埋你哋做嘢啦，係唔係獨立由你哋自己警隊去負責同埋做出決策，而唔受呢個政治所即係譬如 politician 嘅影響，同埋即唔會話會唔會係個 attorney general 或者市長叫你做乜或者唔做乜嘅咧？
Yeah, so that's what's unique about Canada. And here in BC, we've got a police board. So it separates the state or politicians from police work. And that's what makes our system, in my mind, so unique, is that it doesn't allow for the corruption or police to be able to be manipulated. So we don't, obviously the politician can't come by and say, hey, I want you to start setting up counterattack for drunk drivers right in front of this bar because it's bugging my neighborhood. That's where my house is. So that, things like that don't happen. And we have a police board that are made up of community people that invest their time, and they are effectively our buffer between what politicians may want and versus how our operations occur.
但係譬如話從前我記得我訪問過 Carrie Jang 係你知道 City Council 啦。咁當時問佢嘅時候，我話究竟其實嗰啲大麻店即係冚與唔冚啊，即係閂唔閂、關唔關閉佢？佢就話呢個唔係我哋 politician 定嘅，係當時嘅 police chief 係做決定嘅，係咪咁嘅咧
？Yeah, that's right. The police chief. Effectively, like the politicians, absolutely. I mean, there's councillors who are elected by our community and represent our community and have important objectives that they're after. And of course, we're going to work with them and listen and have some discussion. But ultimately, the decision on the law and how we approach it is up to the chief and the individual police officer on the road.
OK， 咁譬如話嗱，雖然呢個唔關你事，譬如話好似示威咁樣，都關嘅。但係譬如 Kinder Morgan 示威就係喺Burnaby 啦，就 RCMP 嘅啦。咁譬如話啲示威者警察拉唔拉佢哋，起唔起訴佢哋，呢個係即係警察嘅決定啊，抑或係呢個 Attorney General 省或者聯邦嘅決定啦
？There would be discussions with the Attorney General, obviously, in cases like that. There are some public interest that comes into play, but without specifically referring to that incident, we have lots of protests here in Vancouver. I have over 200 plus protests in Vancouver every year. So we're very accustomed to working with different protest groups, and because our role as the police is to ensure that everybody has their democratic right to have a peaceful protest. However, there are instances where a decision is made by a police officer or a commander on the road that, hey, because of violence or because of laws are being broken, we're going to move in and move the protesters out or make arrests. But those decisions are made by the police because it has to be backdropped by the law. Simply because somebody doesn't like a group there, for whatever reason, isn't enough. So even on some protests of a larger scale, we will petition the court for a court injunction or an enforcement order that is going to ensure that we're acting in accordance to what the laws are.
OK， 好啦，今日雖然仲有好多嘢想問你，但係時間就到呢度啦。咁啊，好多謝你接受我哋訪問。咁啊，下個禮拜咧就會有另一個話題咧，同大家繼續討論嘅。拜拜。